Now, while you're being a Let's Player, you're gonna have to deal with copyright. And that's an important thing. A lot of people don't think about that, so I want to have mentioned it. I did make an own video for this, so please go watch that if you want very, very, very in-depth details. But to make it short, to sum it up, copyright is an issue. Let's Playing is still a gray zone. There's no law, which means we can get screwed over really easily. And it happens. And again, please don't use that logic of, oh, LPer so-and-so did this game, so I'm fine. Please don't. You don't know what went on in the background. If those people got permission from certain companies or whatever the hell, if they have a deal of some sorts, please don't. And even if you ask them, like, do you have a deal, or, did you just Let's Play or whatever, and they say, no, I just Let's Played it, please don't take others as a quote-unquote template for what you're doing with your channel, because if you get flagged, if you get sued even, you're gonna have to bathe it out and not Let's Player so-and-so. So basically, I don't want to say be a paranoid little fudge, but you might as well trust yourself on this. You need to do the research, you need to make the effort, and not somebody else, because it's your butt on the line, and nobody else's. Okay? Not to scare you or anything, I'm just saying. I can't stress it enough. Basically, in general, this is what partner networks, are going to tell you. If you either remove, which means mute, any copyrighted music, or at least turn it down a lot, you should be fine. And if you remove any cutscenes, from newer games now, you should be fine. But it's not a guarantee, you can still get hit. Okay? How do you know if music is copyrighted? In general, not always, in general though, if there's a soundtrack you can buy, then there's most likely copyright. That's very, very sure. Again, sometimes people don't have a soundtrack for their games, which can still mean that stuff is copyrighted, like the music, but this is like a rule of thumb, basically. Again, use at your own discretion, please. Then I really quickly want to mention the difference between a copyright strike and a content ID match, which is important here on YouTube. Copyright strike means, well, you screwed up, you're gonna be punished, you have a strike, an actual strike, and you might have to deal with consequences. For example, that you can't upload long videos anymore. That happens if you have a strike, for example. And if you have 3 strikes, channel is down. Now, if you get a content ID match from a third party, that means they acknowledged that you have their footage and they're letting you use it, but you can't monetize it. Basically, any money that is made from watching that one specific video is gonna go straight to that company. Whatever happens, please do not ever, under any circumstances, delete your flagged videos. Especially if it is a copyright strike. Because if it is, you want to make or file a counterclaim by using the reason of fair use, which sometimes works. Fair use for teaching / commentary / reviewing. It sometimes works. Again, it's a huge freaking gray zone. It's not a, it's not a guarantee. But it sometimes works. And if you deleted the video, you have no proof anymore. You basically deleted the proof, or the possible proof anyways, that you weren't doing anything wrong. Okay? So much for that. Again, more information is in my other video. I have 2 videos about this actually. One video where I really talk about that with Slim Kirby actually. And another video where I offer replacements or alternatives for copyrighted stuff. It's also about images and all that stuff. So please check them out for more info. Okay? Okay. Now, after all this stuff, it is a good idea to advertise your channel. But please don't be a jerk about it. Like, don't just spam people. People won't like that. There are certain forums, game forums, where you can go to, or even Let's Play forums, where you can go and basically advertise your channel. However, don't just register there and announce your channel and then never go back again. That looks bad. It's just gonna make you look really bad. First, write a few posts on that forum, get to know the people a little bit. And when you have about 20 or so posts or even more, then start making an ad thread. And try to keep going back sometimes to, post stuff. Because otherwise it looks kind of like, oh, okay, they're just dumping their link and that's it. Why should I go there? Personally, I do have a little space on my website where you can announce your channel. And I usually like being informed about what my subscribers especially are doing. Because I like looking at channels and maybe sometimes give little shoutouts or whatever. So, give it a shot. Just don't be pushy about it. Don't be a jerk about it. And, pretty much that. What is a good strategy for advertising? Well, again, those forums can be good. Having a Twitter or a Facebook can be good because sometimes there's certain retweet services that you can use, for example. Of course, you can make some sort of, like a contest or something like that, where your subscribers can become active, and if they make you like a little trailer and spread it to so many people, you could give them a little prize, or there's tons of ideas that you can use. So be creative. Don't be a jerk. Don't be pushy. And just don't spam, and yeah, pretty much. The best method still that I found to spread your channel is to make friends amongst YouTube or anywhere really, and at some point drop the link to your channel because your friends are going to want to keep up with you, usually. Or if you go to streams, you can usually make a lot of friends there, and a lot of people are going to, want to check your channel. That's usually a very good place. So basically, socializing, to make it short, Okay. Any other tips for social or for advertising would be that if you have clean titles, if you have good descriptive titles, if you put a little bit of something into your video descriptions, a little bit of info and not just leave it empty or whatever. And if you format it nicely, if you keep up your playlists, if you put either a channel trailer that is interesting and not too long, by the way, or if you just use your newest video as a channel trailer, that's usually giving you extra exposure. And also keywords. Keywords are really important. People wouldn't think it is, but they are. I wrote a little guide about that. It's on my website too, if you want to go check that. There are a lot of tips in there. Keywords are more important than people ever knew. And the order of how you put, or of what kind of words you put into that field, it matters and it makes a difference. So, what you also can do is do co-op stuff with other people, with other Let's Players, preferably, who are about your size, as in who have about as many views as you do, and preferably not the same fan base, so you can exchange fans, The fans of the other person go to your channel, the fans of your channel go to the other person. That's a good service, that works pretty well. So co-op stuff, definitely. And yeah, so again, it comes down to socializing. And a bunch of keywords, pretty much. Okay, last but not least, the partnership question. Do you want to be partnered? Well, here's the thing. For partnership, usually it doesn't really matter how many subscribers you have. It matters how many views you have. For that, you might want to use Social Blade to check how many daily views you have. A lot of networks want you to have at least 1,000 views a day. But there are also networks like RPM/Social Blade who require you to have way less for you to get into, which is a good thing. What can a network do for you? Well, we made a video, we being Slim and Kirby and I made a video about that. Basically, to sum it up, networks will not usually protect you from strikes or anything. They just basically give you money for the views on your video. So again, the subscriber count doesn't matter. You can have 10,000 subscribers, but if only 2 people watch your videos, you're not going to make a lot. Why would you be partnered? Well, if you want to make a little bit of money on the side, for example, or if you want to have access to really, really good material for tips, on how you can keep growing, then you might want to do it. Please keep in mind, again, usually networks do not keep you from getting any copyright strikes. They might help you deal with it, but they don't usually keep you from it. Again, usually. And please also keep in mind that networks do not raise your views overnight, and especially not without you doing anything. So basically, networks do not provide you with an extra, 50,000 people who are going to watch your stuff. You're going to have to do it by yourself. Which is why I'm like, take these tips and make something with it. But again, if you want, some quote-unquote professionals by your side, you can always ask questions, some guidance maybe. And if you want access to extra material on how you can improve further, even though I've basically just given you the rundown here. And yeah, if you want to make a little money on the side, network is a good thing to do. It also makes you look more professional. A lot of people are more drawn to partnered channels as opposed to non-partnered, especially because you can have stuff like, custom thumbnails and all that stuff. It really helps because people are like, oh, that's somebody professional. They just automatically think that it's psychology. Just like having about 1,000 subscribers or more, just almost not automatically, but has an effect on people's psyche that, they're more inclined to subscribe to you because, again, you look more professional and bigger and, you're active and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, feel free to post them. I know this was long. I hope you used the index in my video description. Unless you really had no idea about any of the stuff, then I hope you enjoyed. I just decided to make this video because I've gotten a lot of questions lately, especially about, how to start Let's Playing and what to do and whatnot. So, yeah. Feel free to leave your comments, thoughts, questions, whatever. I try to respond to as many as I can. And other than that, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all!